What is it like living in Arizona? Now, that is a question I get asked all of the time, whether it's from people we've met here that find out we've moved from Illinois, like so many other people from Illinois, or a client moving here, or if it's from friends and family back in Illinois. And that is exactly what I want to talk about in today's video, what it is like living in Arizona 1 year later. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Rich Brecklin, real estate agent with eXp Realty and Arizona Life. My family and I, we picked up, relocated from Illinois to Arizona, and so many of my clients are doing the exact same thing. Not just from Illinois, from really all over the country. Now, if that is why you're watching this video, well, you came to the right spot. And I would love to help you make that transition, make it easier, make it a little less stressful, and help you avoid some of the mistakes that we made and things we learned along the way. Coming to Arizona from Illinois, I mean, there's the obvious with the weather. As I shoot this, March 2nd, and it is 82 degrees outside and sunny and beautiful. I mean, you can't beat that. But there's a lot more than just the weather that we had to transition to. But please do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay in touch, stay up to date on all the videos that we're putting out, covering things like this, covering the area, being your boots on the ground, through my eyes, so you can learn what it is like to live here, not through my eyes, but through my lens. So first, yes, there is the weather. Now, I'm not just talking about the heat. So experiencing the winter in Arizona was, well, it's different than I was expecting. So I was expecting it to be, pretty much like this year round. Not year round, but winter season round. Now, I know I sound spoiled, and maybe that's because I am, but it did get a little bit colder, here in Arizona, especially in Gilbert Mesa area, than I was anticipating. I did not plan on turning my heat on until my wife and kids said they were cold. But it got a little colder than I really, than I prefer it to be. So yes, I mean, it wasn't Illinois. There was no snow. There was no, frozen tundra. I wasn't having to scrape the windshield. But there was a few days where the low got down to 33, 34 degrees. And in North Scottsdale this year, it did get snow. So pretty crazy. But yeah, I was not expecting some of the cold temperatures that we did get here. Now, the summer when we were here, I mean, everyone knows that it's hot as hell in Arizona. It's 115, 116 some days. And there was one day, I think the low was like 94 or 96, which is crazy, right? But I will say, having that dry heat, I know everyone says that and everyone comments about dry heat, it makes a huge difference. So there have been times, in Illinois, and it's 90 degrees out, but the humidity kills you. It's awful. And there's times here I went outside, I was like, oh man, it feels like it's like 70, and it was like 92. So it does make a big difference with the heat. So things move, I don't know, a little bit faster than they did in Illinois. I've also noticed maybe there isn't quite the same work ethic. Not to offend anyone, but that Midwest work ethic, people from the Midwest, what I'm talking about. People don't really return phone calls, emails, answer their phone here. But that's not saying that's how it is all over, but just something I've experienced in real estate and in my industry. Another thing is, as you see cars flying by me, people here are always in a hurry. I mean, there's so many accidents, so you definitely have to pay attention, if you're on the 202, 101, or 60, because there's a lot of people going the wrong way on the interstate, which I don't understand. But people just don't pay attention. But again, you have people from all over the country, and maybe they're used to driving a certain way in that area, and you bring them all here, well, then you might have some issues. Another thing that was, I don't want to say it's a shock, being in the industry, but is just, something to get used to, is how fast home prices rise here. The volatility of the housing market here was It's not like it is in the Midwest. Again, people are actually moving here, not from here. So that's to be expected. And with so many people coming here and already being, 4.5 million people here, and there's 4,000 homes for sale and there's normally 20,000 plus. So you're going to have, those issues. When you see homes that are not nice and need a ton of repair, get 10 to 12 offers on them, it's something that has to take into effect of, how you run your business, how you operate with clients, how you educate your clients. But again, it's just something that, we had to adjust to, had to make sure we're knowledgeable on, and not just for ourselves, but also for those that we're helping move here, so they're in the best position to make the best decision possible for them and their family. Another thing is, it is so spread out here. Before we moved here, yeah, I understood that it was a large area, but just, the valley is huge. So I don't mind, driving an hour and 15 minutes, around going to help clients. But I know a lot of people who are moving here thinking they're going to live in Queen Creek and work in Surprise. Well, that might be okay at first, but the more and more you do that drive, you really have to understand, is that a drive I want to make every day? That's hours out of your day, pretty much hour and 20 minutes there and back, maybe, if you're lucky. It just depends on weather. The good thing is it's really easy to get around here, and being in kind of a grid system, especially Gilbert, it's not too difficult. So that part is nice. The other thing that we quickly found out is it gets dusty here. So I don't know where it's all coming from. I feel like we're always wiping down the countertops, the shelves, the cabinets, but dust will just find a way to get into your home. And it makes sense. It's dry here, and there is, it's dusty. It's not like there's grass holding everything down. It's usually rock yards, as you can see, around me as I'm walking. Very, very few people have grass. Which makes sense because water is, it's a scarce resource here, and the last thing you want to do is be having to use it all up to water your yard just so it evaporates before it hits a blade of grass. Living somewhere where, we didn't have mountains is pretty flat. We had cornfields and that's about it, a river. But living where there are mountains, every day I get to see the mountains and palm trees, and I never really thought that would be that big of something I cared about or loved. But now I could not live without having that, in my life and being able to experience that. So we usually go up to the mountains and hike, twice a month at least, if not every weekend. It's a really fun thing to do with our girls and us. Just last week we went to the Santee Mountains and did a 3-mile hike. My kids were about to kill me since they are 3 and 7, and 3 miles was a little long for them, but it's good for them. It's good for, I think more kids need to get out and hike and maybe less time indoors. So that's my feeling, and that way it also created time for them to get a good nap after. Now, I know I mentioned about home prices rising here, and there's not much we can do about that. However, the homes here are beautiful, especially some of these new construction properties, from the East Valley to the West Valley. There's amazing Toll Brother homes in Surprise and some Taylor Morrison in Queen Creek. But there are so many different styles and options depending on what it is you're looking for in your budget. And it's hard to make a decision almost because they're amazing. They're so beautiful, tall ceilings, open, and you get to pick out how you want to live, where you want to live. So again, coming from Central Illinois, where we don't quite, have that new construction foothold, coming here, it was really nice to be able to work with clients who are looking for that new construction and want that style of home, and to be able to help them, relocate, from wherever they're coming to here, and then, use this tool, use this camera here in my channel to be able to, provide to them, hey, if they don't want to make that trip, being able to show them, here is the style of home that you get to choose from, in Arizona. But if you're not into new construction, I mean, there's a lot of other styles and neighborhoods you get to choose from. You know, a golf course community, you have it. If you want to be on a lake, you can have lakefront community here. If you want to be in the middle of nowhere on land with your horse, do that too. So I love just so many different options here. And again, it feels like we're always learning something. The more and more we do, the more places we visit. The real estate here is beautiful, and we love that aspect of it. No one is from here. At least that's what it feels like. It feels like so many people from so many different places. It's almost a rare occasion to meet someone who's actually born and raised here. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I'm used to living in a spot where, I mean, everyone knew everyone, and I go to a restaurant and I run into 5 people I know. And you know, here it's not the same. It's, you know, oh, where are you from? But to me, I think that's also kind of cool. It's also, you know, a good common ground for people, especially, you know, our daughters, as they meet more friends, and you know, they were the new kid, and now they can help the other new kid, especially when you're moving, you know, from another state. You know, depending on where you're coming from, could be like we did, a 1,600-mile journey where you know absolutely no one. But when you can connect with so many other people who've done the same thing, it makes it a little easier and makes that transition a little bit smoother. We love living here. We're so happy, you know, we decided to take that risk, you know, move our family, expand the business, and now call Arizona home. I could not imagine not living here. And sometimes we look back and we're like, man, it's one, why didn't we do this sooner? 2, it was just kind of, it started with a crazy idea, just a joke my wife had about moving here, and then it turned into a real conversation. So yeah, we do love it, and I'm not just saying that because I want you to come, you know, buy a house from here, buy a house here, and let me be a real estate agent. I mean, that's not it at all. I mean, I would like that if you would. But we really, really do love it here. We love living in the Phoenix metro area. We love the East Valley, but the West Valley has some amazing properties and amazing amenities as well. It's just where we landed. Please, if you do have questions, reach out. I would love it if you gave me a follow on Instagram. There, it's a little bit more laid back. You get to see a lot more of, you know, raw, real Arizona, and not that this is polished, but definitely more of the day-to-day of what we're doing and what's going on. And yeah, I love being able to share that with everyone who's interested in just considering making Arizona their home. So again, follow me on Instagram, like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And if you're ready to make that move, please reach out. I am a real estate agent with eXp Realty, and I would love to be your agent and help you make Arizona your life. Until next time, it's Rich Brecklin, eXp Realty.